It's just enough to make you go crazy. So anyway, so kind of working on that. I wanted to jump in here and try to get everybody situated and find out what Obsidian is all about. Um, what we do, how we do it, how things are run, the content of what exists within the company, the underwriting, the brokering, everything. So it usually takes us a little over an hour. We'll do a small Q&A where you guys can text me uh, or you can write into the box questions and I'll answer them for you. And that's always good. We found that that works really good, and it only usually lasts about 10 or 15 minutes afterwards. So I won't really drag you totally crazy here because I know everybody's really busy in the business, or at least I hope so. Because good Lord, the world's coming to an end in the industry. The 30 years that I have been seeing this, I've never seen anything like it. I've never, I was joking with a buddy of mine who's been doing it as long as me. And I said to him, he said, well, where do you think we're going? And I said, well, I would say at least 7 or 8. He's like, what? I go, yeah. He goes, you're crazy. I said, well, if you think I'm crazy, then in November, when we were at 3%, and I told you we're going at 5 to 5.5, would you think, what would you have said then? He's like, you're right. So where do I think we're going? Being doing this for 25 plus years, I think we're going to 7. Which I know this is tough times for all of us, but the upside is when the refi boom starts in another 2 or 3 years, hallelujah, because God is going to bless us all. We are going to be busy, and it's going to be great because you're going to get that individual where, hey, let me get you down to 4 or 3.75. Oh, a year later, let me get you down to 2.5. So good times are ahead. So just try to keep that in mind. So with that, anyway, let me get started here. Again, my name is Raymond Moats. Everybody calls me Ray. I'm with Obsidian Financial Services. I'm one of the senior VPs, and this is about joining the team. So who we are what is known as a delegated lender. We have the ability to underwrite loans, close loans, and do everything in our name. We are HUD approved, VA approved, USDA approved on our proprietary side. You can do your construction to perms this way. You can do things like that and the whole 9 yards. We're also a broker. So some of you might be coming over from a retail, so-called retail shop that is a lender where all you can do is act as a lender. Well, with us, no way. We are going to give you the option. Of course, we'd like to see you try to work on the correspondent side, which is the lender side, if you're not familiar with the terminology, because of it's just a lot easier and it's just better. It's just plain old better. But again, sometimes it calls out to be broker. If you got a broker file, then we're going to give you that ability to do that as well. We're signed up with all the lenders. So on here. All right. So, all right, we were founded in 2016, again, as a fully delegated lender. We are probably one of the fastest growing lenders in the country. Pre-pandemic, we had 28 LOs. We were about 6 months ago at 300. Of course, a lot of people didn't renew their license, so it brought us under 300, but we are heading back towards the 300 mark again, as we were. So we're located here, or no, you're not here. We're located in Florida. We have 32 states currently. We're currently licensed in 32 states, and we are getting at least 10 or 12 more. So we're working on that as we speak. All right, working with us. Okay, in working with us. Okay, this is the thing that I was talking about. We are a delegated lender and we are a broker. So what that gives you is, just tons of things you can do. We have the ability to process, underwrite, and close loans in our name. We can allow you to process the loan, but in any way that you want to go with this. Or again, if you want a broker, process broker, do it that way, send it in that way. Or you want to go to our proprietary channel with that lender, say Quicken, say PRMG, say Plaza, Carrington, PennyMac, blah, blah, blah. I go on and on. Okay, you have the ability to work with us wholesale and on a proprietary channel. So you're going to have two options. So you've got delegated, which is correspondent. You've got proprietary, and then you've got wholesale. So what is this for you? What does this mean for you? This means more options, a lot more options. So when you go to work for a broker, let's say, excuse me, I'm not going to mention any names, but you go to one of these big broker houses, all you're going to do is broker loans. That's all you can do. You can't collect your processing fee unless you have a third party processor. You're stuck in a compensation plan. The appraisal's in the lender's name. The borrower knows what you make. But anyway, we still give you the option. And on top of it, we give you the option at a much cheaper price. Instead of 2.75 being the compensation factor, and then them paying out, or them taking 2.2 and only paying you out 55, or them taking 55 or 60 pips, we do it for a flat fee. But we'll go on into that more. But the main thing that we want to focus on here is options. You have options, and with options, it opens up a lot more for you. All right, so let's go on here. So as we're going through this thing, there's questions that you should, be asking and thinking about that you want to ask me. So I would encourage you to write down anything that you feel like you need to ask me at the end so that we can go over the information that you're looking for. Because I'm going to be honest, it's a lot of information. Just tons and tons of information. Now, whether you're on the webinar because of Indeed and you've already had contact with the recruiter, or constant contact, or the website, or LinkedIn, eventually we're going to have you reach out to a recruiter. So then at that point, they're going to help you more. But anyway, what you're going to be asking yourself is how quickly can you get your loans underwritten? How quickly can you close loans? And most importantly, pricing. As we know, these rates keep flying up. So you got to be able to lock that loan and lock that loan ASAP. With the lender, you've got way much more choices than you do as a broker. Oh, sure. Because trust me, I've worked longer in the broker channel and the wholesale channel than the correspondent channel. So, okay. So again, this is what we're talking about. So we're talking about the different channels in which you want to put this up here. Sorry about that. The different channels in which you may want to price your loan. Okay, there, like I said, there is delegated. So delegated is going to give you the ability to send it into us to underwrite. Well, actually, let's start from the beginning. You're going to process it. Now, be your processor or our processor, either way, don't care. You're going to send it in to us for disclosing. We're going to underwrite it. We're going to send in the conditions, and then you're going to fill the conditions. We're going to close it, and we're going to close it in our name. All right, proprietary channel. What is that? That is more in line with the wholesale channel. So we have proprietary agreements set up with Quicken, with PRMG, with a whole bunch of lenders out there on the wholesale side where you can actually work almost as a wholesale, but on a proprietary channel. What that means is, and we'll go into it later, is you're going to make more money. Then, of course, you've got the one and only, the wholesale channel. So we all know about that. So let's go into each one here. So delegated. When a loan is delegated, the company has ability to underwrite the loan and close in our name. All right. When you price it in-house. We have Optimal Blue, which is built into Lending Pad for us. So you can actually go in there, price out the loan in Lending Pad, lock the loan in Lending Pad, and be done with it. And then it's just you're working through Lending Pad at that point. So what is the upside here? The upside is that there is no compensation plan with the delegated. So you guys are kind of like, all right, and I know some of the brokers are probably like, what does that mean? I can only understand 2.75. Well, I'm going to tell you to get 2.75 out of your mind. Okay, we're going to try to rid ourselves of that. So if you have a non-QM loan and you're looking to make, I think right now, I don't do a lot of wholesale, so I'm going to sometimes be may be wrong on this, so it can be a little gray, but I think on the wholesale side with the non-QM product, you have to go borrower paid, and the best compensation you can make is 2. Well, that's not the case with us. With us, you can go lender paid and you can make 3. I think I think most of our delegated lenders will pay 2 on the back. So you're going to make 2 ISP lender, not so-called lender paid, but then you can charge an origination point. So you can actually make 3 points on the deal. And then what's the borrower going to see when they do that? They're only going to see your origination. They're not going to see your compensation on the back. So that's one of the upsides of the delegated program. Again, underwriting is a lot easier. I'm going to tell you, I don't care what anybody tells you. I have been brokering longer than I have been doing lender. And I'm going to tell you what, the lender side, it's so much easier. I send in a loan. I've got a closing date of 3 weeks. Now we know the borrower's got a 720 credit score. Self-employed, so it's going to be a pain in the butt. You know, when you send a loan to UWM or Quicken and it's self-employed, you know you're not getting it done in 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to be really tough. I'm not going to say all the time, but a lot of times, mostly it is. With us, it's never, okay, we're going to use the word never a problem with us, because we're going to disclose the loan, we're going to underwrite the loan, okay? Then we're going to send out the final CD. Here's the catch. Now, let's just say you're supposed to wait 3 days after the final CD. Well, there's some little gadget stuff you can do here. I can send the CD to the table at closing, and if I have to, I got a backdate. But yeah, hey, these are things that you can kind of do, and you can get loans closed that you're not going to do on the wholesale side. On the wholesale side, bye-bye contract, and you know everybody's mad at you, and we all know that. All right, so let's move on here to the proprietary channel. So now in the proprietary channel, this is probably more familiar with you as mini-core or non-delegated. I think if you're in the broker world, you know this is mini-core. All right, this is set up where everything is done through the lender. The lender, except for processing, you're going to process the file. You're going to send it in to the lender for disclosing. The lender is going to underwrite the file. Now, here's where it gets a little bit different. We have the ability with Quicken, with PRMG, with FGMC, with blah, 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 you name it out there. We can still close the loan. So we can send out the CD. Once they give an approval, we can get the CD out, and then we can actually draw the docs in our name. The upside here is your borrower is not going to see your compensation. So if you're going lender paid, if there's 3 points on the back, he's not here. That borrower is not seeing that 3 points you're making. And it still gives you the ability to charge an origination fee. So if you want to make 4 points, there you go. So you have that ability. All right. You also have the ability on these to collect the underwriting fee. So there's no clicking fees in, fees out crap. All right. So now you're going to get the best pricing, and you're going to be able to charge a borrower that. Okay. And if you're like, well, my borrower doesn't like that idea about being charged, well, then you give a lender credit. All right. That's the upside. You can always give a lender credit. There's no doubt about that. The thing that I'm weighing on here are options. Okay. Options. We all know that no deal is the same. Every deal is as different as the shirt you're going to wear the next day. So that, my friend, is what is very important here. So options. So again, this here is done, the proprietary channel is done just like the wholesale channel, except for it works in the capacity that there's no compensation plan. We're going to draw the docs, and you're going to get paid whatever you want to on these things. All right. So now let's go into the broker channel plan. So for the broker channel plan, I would say everybody on this call knows, except for unless you're new to the industry. This is where you might process it. And now if you don't have a third-party processing company, you know you're not collecting that fee. On the proprietary channel and on the delegated channel, you can charge that fee. And the processor does not have to be licensed. So if you have a processor and if you have a processor that you love working with and we're okay with, and they understand it and they've got the experience, and you want to do a loan in Texas and you want to use our transition desk, you can still use your processor and collect that fee on the proprietary and delegated channel. Here, no way, Jose. You're not getting that unless they're licensed. They have to be licensed because on the broker side, we know that the law states the max compensation is 2.75, right? And they're going to underwrite the loan. They're going to close the loan and you're going to price it out and you're responsible for everything going on. In this channel, when you handle this channel, you're not going to bother your AE. Because when you're onboarded, you're going to get assigned account executive. All right, that account executive is not going to help you that much on a broker deal. He's going to tell you to call the broker, the contact over at PRMG. He's going to have you call the guy over at Quicken. He's going to have you guy call that. So in case you're noticing here, we're not signed up with UWM. Sorry, people. It's either Quicken or UWM. Quicken doesn't want to do business with people that actually are a lender as well. They just want to isolate the market to themselves. I'm going to be honest with you. When you're working for one of the big box guys and you're sending in all your loans to UWM, you're really working for UWM. The other guy's just a portal to get paid on. So anyway, so now that's just a good brief overview of being a broker. All right. Compensation. So again, 3 different programs aligned with 3 different ways of being compensated. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in. I'm going to start off with the proprietary channel and the delegated channel. So let me click this here. All right, so we're going to, like I said, we're going to go into this. We're going to go into the delegated. So I'm going to price out in optimal blue. All right. Now, one of the good things with delegated, 9 times out of 10, the pricing is going to be better with delegated. I'm not going to say all the time, but most of the time it is because we get better rates with this because we're obviously doing all the work. I mean, we're doing the underwriting. We're doing all the heavy lifting. All the lender has to do is purchase a loan from us. That's it. Just send it over and then that's all they do. So, all right. So if you go to the rate sheet or when you go to lock a loan and it says 103.5, that means you make 3.5. If it says 101.25, you make 1.25. All right, so that is straight what it is here. So here we go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and price out a couple deals for you so that you can take a look here and see how this generally works. So let's see, make sure I get to the right part here. Yeah, that's this here. So you're going to get your optimal blue is going to be in tuned with your lending pad. So you're going to actually be able to price out your loans directly in lending pad when you do this. So I'm a little, the rates have been going wacky here lately. So I'm going to try my best here to make sure that I do something. So let's try an FHA loan. So we're going to do an FHA loan at 386. Is going to be the base loan amount. All right, it's going to price at 400. All right, we're going to click on the delegated channel. All right, and then we're going to put in, let's do a credit score 680. Let's do a DTI of 42. Let's do Broward County. It's always fun down there. And then we're going to click on FHA down here. And then we're going to go to, let's take a look. Maybe we should take a look at desired pricing, or let's try desired rate. So let's take a look and see what our rates are doing here. So let's put in a rate of 5%. All right, and take a look at what 5% is doing right now. So we're going to take a look here. We're going to submit this here. Okay, so this is wow, this is horrible. Let me revise this search. Ouch. Well, I'm out of touch here. Oof. Good Lord. Let's do 5.5%. We'll make some money on this thing. This is crazy. All right. Here we go. 5%. So 5%. So most of you I know are familiar with Flagstar on the wholesale channel, but we as a company really try to lay out full disclosure. We don't hide things from you. We try to be as upfront with you as possible. All right, so you're going to go in here and you're going to price this loan out. So it's going to say Flagstar over here, right? So Flagstar, you're going to make 3 points, a little bit over 3 points. It's not going to be 2.75, and then you got to give up a quarter and 0.024. No, you're going to make that. That's exactly what you're going to make. That is not going to show up on your CD. So there's no showing that kind of, there's no lender paid, borrower paid here, basically lender paid, and it's not showing up on your CD. Now I have LOs. They're tricky. They're really good because the pricing might come in really close to somebody they're competing with on wholesale. So they'll go and charge the borrower a half point or a point. In this case, a half point would be, roughly, I don't know, $2,000, $1,800. And they'll tell the borrower that's all they're making. They don't know that they're making another 3 points on the back, or in this case, 2.83, 2.28. But in this case here, as you're seeing this, you don't have to worry about Flagstar as the lender, okay? Because we're writing to HUD guidelines, to Ginnie Mae guidelines. So we're just letting you know that's who we're selling it to. This is just more of just full disclosure. So you know who and what we're doing it to. Because a lot of lenders, what they'll do is that you work for, the Fairviews, things like that, it won't even say who they're selling it to. They don't tell you that. They'll put in here as Flagstar is red, Lakeview is blue, Rushmore is like an off blue, Mr. Cooper is orange. They'll just put things like that. So you'll lock it with a color. No, we want you to see this. So as you see down here, we have a bunch of lenders here. So while you're seeing here, Quicken, things like that, because that's your proprietary channel. So you're going to be able to use this, again, pricing for your proprietary. You'll price your loans through here for your proprietary and for your delegating, not your wholesale. That's going to be done through Loan Scepter. So I hope everybody gets a good idea of what we're looking at here. All right, so let's do another one. We're going to do another search here. And this time, I would say let me do a conventional. I guess we could probably do a conventional. So let's take a look here on a conventional. Let's do 300,000. Let's do an 80% loan to value here. Oops. Okay. 75%. That's okay. All right. So we got 75%. And purchase. Credit score is really good. 780 credit score. Really good. Back ratio is 28. We're going to select delivery type. We're going to put in delegated for that. We're going to stick with Broward. I imagine I'm probably going to have to go higher than 5.5 on this to get any kind of resolve. So I'm going to put in 6. Okay, so I'm going to put in 6%. And we're going to take a look here. And this is, okay, I did something wrong here. So let me revise the search. I'm not sure what I did wrong here. Desired rate. Why am I getting funky pricing? Conforming. 780. 75%. What am I doing here? Oh, I got desired price of 6 points. Sorry about that. There's my problem. I'm a bonehead. Okay, so here we go. So my desired rate is going to be 6. And let's see what we come up with price. Okay, so at 6%, we hit 3 again. All right, so here again, you're going to make 3 points on it. And again, your borrower's not going to see it. Well, you're like, Ray, I can't. My borrower's shopping me to death. So what you'll do is you'll click on this show, all right, and you'll say, oh, okay, so I'm competing with blah, 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 blah. All right, broker such and such. Right? Well, you at $386,000, you got to at least make a point. So you're going to go in here and you're going to lock this thing here. You're going to say, all right, I'm going to lock this at 1.5. I'm good with 1.5. So this way you can go in here and lock it. Now, remember, you're not in a compensation plan. So this works for the floor as well as it does for the ceiling. So you don't, people are like, wow, I can make 3 or 4 points, 5 points, great. Not just that, because I mean, come on, you don't think you're going to make that off a 780 credit score? No way. So you're like, okay, where's my floor? Where can I go get this as low as I can go? Now you're at 5.5. So you've got to, you're right there. So now again, your borrower is not going to see that you're making that 1.5. You can almost tell them, hey, listen, I work on a per file basis and I get $500. He doesn't need to know, the borrower doesn't need to know what you're making. So anyway, all right. So, okay, so we did that. So what I want to do too is show you, I want to price out a non-QM loan for you. Let's try the DSCR program, all right? So you've got to click on the non-delegated channel for that. All right, we'll keep the same loan amounts. Here you're going to click in non-conforming, and you're going to click in expanded guidelines, all right? And then down here, it's going to ask you what types you want to do. All right, do you want to do full doc? You want to do 3 months, 12 months, 18 months? I hope everybody can see this. Stated, written VOE, investor, DCR. So I'm going to click on investor DCR. And I am going to try and click on the pricing at 102. All right, so that we can make 2 points on the back. So it would be almost like in your world, 2-point lender pay. So I'm going to click on submit. Let's see what we get here. All right, so we're not getting a whole lot of people that are paying out up to 2 points, but we're seeing that FGMC is. So we'll click on FGMC, and we'll see that FGMC will go as high as paying you 2.1875. So again, in this case, if you had a DSCR program file, you could tell the borrower, hey, I'm going to charge you 1, and then they are not going to know that you are going to be compensated this on the back. So you are going to make 3 points on the deal, and everybody's happy because the broker over here is charging 2 points borrower paid. So that is how it works with the delegated and the proprietary channel. So now everybody's got a good insight to that. All right, so let's move on here. And this is probably going to go into the proprietary channel, of which we just talked about. Again, the upside is you can choose any lender that you want. Quicken, PRMG, Plaza, Carrington, FGMC, you can go with them. The pricing isn't as good as delegated. Just a whole bunch. So you can do it that way. And sometimes it might be better when you first start out that you work with your AE, your account executive, because being a lender is a lot more tedious. There's a lot more work involved. The rewards are a lot greater, but you're going to find out why, because you're going to be doing a lot more work. It's not going to be like, well, I'm just going to flip to the processor, I'm done. It's not going to work that way. I promise you that. So you're going to be putting in work to do this because you're pulling MERS now, you're pulling fraud guards, you're doing all the work that a lender would do. All right. So now, of course, let's go into the wholesale channel. So now on the wholesale channel, everybody knows that, the famous Loan Sifter. So here we are with Loan Sifter. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and price out loan and Loan Sifter so that we can kind of see what we're dealing with here. So we're going to do a purchase price of $386,000. We're going to do an appraised value of, oops, my fault. Sorry. Again, I don't do a lot of broker stuff, so you got to bear with me. 386,000 there. So, and we are going to do a 680 FICO score. Okay. And then we're going to do primary residence manufactured 33302, because I know that's per hour. And then we are going to go, let's go with fees in, because that's probably, you don't want to, nothing is worse for you to get paid 2.75 and get an underwriting fee whacked out, and then get, our fees whacked out. So that'll make you crazy. So we'll do that. We'll just go ahead and do borrower paid. And so let's do a rate of 5.5. All right, so we'll take a rate of 5.5. All right, I guess I'm looking at the wrong here. So let me go back and try again here and try another. Let's see, modify the scenario. Let's try 6. 6, and then let's hold off on the borrower paid. Let's go lender paid. All right, so we're going to submit it this way. Make sure I have everything here. We should see a lot more. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? All right, let me modify this again. I mean, we have a ton of lenders in here, so I don't know what. Let's see what I'm doing wrong here. Let's go back here. Let's modify the search again and see what I'm doing. Ah, my fault. I'm so sorry. FHA. I know you guys are screaming at me. Click FHA, click FHA. Sorry, again, I don't do this that much. So here we go. So I'm going to click on to the lender paid compensation. Okay, so here we have a problem. So at 2.75, we have our compensation set at 2.75 at 6%. At 6%, you're going to have an overage of 1.258. Okay, so what does that mean? So for everybody knows in the world that's working as a broker, you're going to give that borrower credit. So in my case, I would probably drop the rate. If the borrower's pretty savvy and understands what's going on, you're probably going to drop the rate. But let's say your borrower's not. Let's say this is a construction to perm loan. You're going to FHA construction to perm loan. This is a really hard loan to do. And it's 2.75. A lot of times people they'll walk away from those. Or $100,000 loan. You don't want to, $2,700 minus all the fees. You walk away $1,000. You don't want to do that. So here you're going to give out your 1 1/4. Well, in this instance with us, on the delegated side and the proprietary side, you don't have to do that. So you're going to make the 2.75 plus the 1 1/4. So you're going to make 4 points on this deal. Okay, here on the broker side, what we're discussing right now, you're only going to make 2.75. Now, with us on our compensation, we only charge a flat fee of $12.50. So you're going to make the full 2.75. There we're going to take out $12.95. So I guess we could try probably modify into another search here. Let's try a conventional one. And I'm going to do a baseline amount of 300,000. And I'm going to do a loan amount or a credit score 720. Conventional rate. I think we're at 6.5 on the other one. Half and go bar paid. Submit. Okay, there we go. So now we've got some lenders up here. Everybody and their mom's coming up here now. So again, we are. We're looking at a 2.75 compensation. Because you went borrower paid, it's not showing it over here. So what you would do is you would take out your compensation and then you would give a lender credit of $18.96. So that, again, you're not going to get to keep that overage. That's the problem here. So you do not get to keep the overage. So here's, in case you're just kind of wondering, you see down here we got Freedom, PRMG. So you can see we have everybody. So that's a given on this. So we have everybody. That's not a problem there. If we don't have them, we'll get them. All right. So now we kind of understand that, a little bit of general understanding of what's going on there with that. All right. So again, as a correspondent lender, you have the ability to lower pricing. It's not disclosed. It's right there in front of you where you don't have to make it. Again, with our compensation on the wholesale side, we only charge $12.95 a file. And why do we do that? Because we're doing fine on the other side, or 20%. So most of the time, $12.95 comes up. But if you make $2,000 on a file, then we're going to probably, or I'm sorry, if you make $20,000 on a file, we're going to take 20%. So that's going to be $4,000 and then $295. So that's kind of where that is. All right. So products. All right, I'm going to go into products in a second, but what I want to do real quick here is I'm going to run through a scenario real fast of what the payouts would look like. So let me take a look at this here. So we're going to take a look at what the compensation would work and how it would work. So here's the broker compensation. We're gonna look at this part up here first. We're gonna focus on this area in here. So here again, a loan amount of $400,000, compensation of 2.75 is $11,000. We're gonna take out $12.95. Our QC fee is $2.95. All right, we charge a monthly fee of $7.95, or I'm sorry, $75 for lending pads. So that might or might not fit in there. And then the processing fee. Okay, if we don't have a third-party processing fee, then we have to charge this. If we're processing, that's our charge, $475 on broker fees. So that's going to be there. So if you look at my competition, loan amount there, compensation 2.75. They're taking 60, 70, 80 bips from 100 bips in some people's cases. So they make it 1.75. This is the better end of the scenario from what I've heard. Okay, I've heard some nightmare stories out there of people only making 1.75 for 2 points. So it's ugly. So here's the difference. You're going to make $800 to $1,000 more a file with us. I mean, is it a lot? No, but it adds up. 3 or 4 files a month, and there's a big fat mortgage payment, car payments, this and that. So the fees do add up. And I know everybody in the broker world does count their dimes. You guys are very suave when it comes to watching your money. So I know that. Now, if you did it on the wholesale side, this is simple. Boom. This is what you're going to make. It's totally simple. Let's say you made your 3 1/4. You didn't give up your 50 bip credit. You got to keep it. You made $13,000. You took out your lending pad fee. And you end up making almost $13,000. $12,925. So again, and guess what? Borrower never sees this. Borrower sees this all up here. And people are like, oh, well, that's no big deal. Okay, it's no big deal when maybe it's a $300,000 or $400,000. Flip that $1 million deal or that $900,000 deal, and then explain to them that you're making $18,000 and that you're giving them a credit for 18 grand and you're flipping them around. But still, a good homeowner will figure out and see between the lines. All right, so that gives you an idea of how we make money or how you make money, your compensation, and all how it goes into there. So here's a list of some of the products. I'm going to be straight up with you. We have almost everything in the world here. Your conventional, your FHA, your FICOs, your down payment assistance. Now, I'm going to tell you right now with this down payment assistance program, oops, went over, didn't mean to do that. With your down payment assistance program, you're going to have to go lender on that because I don't think too many people do them. If you're not signed up with Chinoa or Hometown Heroes or things like that, you're not getting them done. You're totally not getting them done. Manufactured homes. There you go. There's a prime example where you need to make 3 or 4 points because loan amount's going to be 80,000, 120,000. We got the doctor loans. Okay, it's great when you do that. Flagstar's famous for those. They do that. Good old, Dr. Phillips, he doesn't get to see what you make. Same thing with reverses. If you're a reverse lender, woo, you got 15 points on that $200,000. You definitely don't want to be showing your borrower that. We have the DSCRs, the EINs, the DACA loans, hard money loans, flip loans, bank statements. We've got it all. So if we don't have it, you let us know. We will go get it. We have no problem signing up with investors at all. And always, again, when you sign up with an investor, always try to make sure that we can run a proprietary channel with them so that you can actually work outside of the comp plan. All right, so some of the things about us, all right, what we do, how we do it, things in here. So we have state-of-the-art technology. We've spent a lot of money on our website. We're running Lending Pad. We have Optimal Blue for you. We've got Surefire. Now, if you're not familiar with Surefire, and you're working leads, you definitely are going to want to have this. This organizes everything for you. It handles everything for you. And I mean, this is what it does is if your borrower decides they want to refinance, you're going to find out right away. Surefire is going to send out an email to you and the borrower letting them know that you're there. So, and sad thing is, if you leave, now you turn into the competition. So, heads up on that. But again, with the Surefire, it is a really top of the art CRM for you loan officers. All right. So, what I'm going to do is, we are, like I said, we're very highly technical based. So, we have what is called, we've got SharePoint. So, you'll be able to do things in SharePoint. We'll communicate in SharePoint. We also have Teams. All right, so if there is any question about anything, you can always hit me up in Teams and Andre up in Teams and any of us up in Teams. That's no problem. We're always just a DM away. So this is our front end of our website. Basically, it's like I said, it's a nice website, but what makes it special is what's going on here is on the back end, is our employee portal. Right? This allows, okay, come on. Click on this here, and your Obsidian email is going to bring you into this. This is the back end of the website. Everything that you do here is in here. There are social media ambassador, which your recruiter will explain more to you. Marketing. You're going to order your business cards through there. You're going to sign up through healthcare through here. You're going to get Surefire. Here's Surefire videos. There's videos, investor hubs. If you need to go to PRMG, you need to get a username and password because you are going to broker a deal. Everything's in here. Everything. There are videos till your eyes go blind. All over the place. So you're going, how to create an e-sign form, how to do this, how to do that, how to order an appraisal, how to order a hazard. It's all back here for you. So this is a big tool for you so that anything that you need, lead generation programs. Again, we don't supply leads. However, again, Surefire is your CRM and we have lead pops. We are hooked up with Equifax. So if you want to buy leads from Equifax, strictly leads from Equifax, you can do that. You can do whatever you want. We don't supply them, but we give you the ability to do it. And that's why our fees are cheap and that's why our rates are good, because this is all about you. This is you going out and drumming up the business. So that's the back end of the website. All right. Again, the front end of the website, blue and things like that. So LendingPad. LendingPad is our LOS system. It is cloud-based. If you've used Encompass, this will be easy. You might have to watch a couple of videos on the back of the intranet, in the back of the website, but this is really super easy to use. Again, you'll price your loans out there for delegated and proprietary, and you'll lock in there. And you'll receive a lock confirmation. So, Optimal Blue, again, what we talked about that. We just kind of went over that. It's got everything in there. It's got your MI for you. It has everything for calculating everything. All right. Okay. Again, to go back into Surefire, you'll definitely, this is one that Surefire is owned by Optimal Blue or Black Knight. They are on their game, or Encompass. They are on their game when it comes to being organized with your leads and running your leads. And if you're running trigger leads, they'll go through Surefire and everything. It's just amazing. I could spend hours talking about that. It's crazy. Again, intranet. So that's the back end of our website. Once you're onboarded, you will have an Obsidian email. I very much encourage you to use it because you're going to be able to operate in teams in there. You're going to be able to get on the intranet in there, and it just keeps you going. You'll be an Outlook, the whole 9 yards. So that's the thing, all right? Next, okay, account executives. All right, so we've got 6 account executives. They are very experienced, super duper experienced. They can structure a loan for you. They can tell you where to lock it, how to lock it. They're going to guide you and tell you, look, this is probably not a good idea to send this one delegated. Let's do this. If it's a self-employed borrower and needs a lot of structuring, he's probably going to tell you, he or she's going to tell you, hey, send this thing delegated. You're going to get it done a lot faster and it's going to go a lot easier. Because one thing's for sure, as one of my underwriters always tells me, underwriting a self-employed borrower is an art. It's not a science. You'd think with numbers that it would be a science, but it's not. So you're going to have the ability, your AE is going to be your mentor, your whole 9 yards. And what does the AE cost you? Nothing. So you're not going to take out of every deal, pay the AE something, any of that. You're paying them nothing. Okay, they are employees of Obsidian Financial as you are, and they are paid a salary. They aren't getting any of your money. You can bet on that. So don't worry about that. So right away you get your AE. So to kind of get things a little bit going and wrapped up on here. So what is the main thing that we really talked about here? Options. Okay, having options. In the industry, you must have options. You don't want to be just stuck brokering deals. I mean, look, if you like to broker deals, I understand that. You're going to get with your account executive, and then let's say you do 3 deals a month. You might end up sending 1 deal correspondent. You might say, wow, okay, I'm starting to really like this whole correspondent thing. And take your time on getting to learn things. We're not going to jam anything at you. We're not going to tell you, oh, hey, I mean, I've got guys that, that's how they do it. 4 or 5 a month, they'll broker and they'll send 1 or 2 delegated, or they'll go non-del, they'll go into the proprietary channel. So again, your account executive is going to help you do everything that you need to do. They are there for you 24/7, 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. You might not get on the phone, but you should be able to text them. We're very highly on that. We like to keep the communication open. There's no doubt about that. We love the communication open. All right, so how does this work? So what happens next is after we do the Q&A, you're going to reach out to a recruiter. Whoever recruiter was that you spoke with or had contact with, you're going to go back, set up another time with them to meet with them, to go over the contract, about onboarding, getting signed up, and getting everything going. So it's going to go from the recruiter, he'll get you the contract will get completed, you'll send that back in, you'll go in, request sponsorship in the NMLS, then every Monday we have orientation. Orientation is usually about 2, sometimes 3 hours. It can be very long because you'll have a lot of questions, especially again, if you've just worked in the broker world, you're going to say to yourself, okay, this is, there's a lot for me to absorb here. And immediately you're going to be assigned an account executive. The account executive is going to reach out to you. Please, I beg you, if you come on board, reach back out to them. If you're a part-time loan officer and you're only doing this as a side job, that's fine. I get it. You do a loan. We're not requiring you to do 2 or 3 a month. We'd love to see it. But if you're doing 1 every couple of months, that's fine. But at least make contact with your account executive. Otherwise, we're going to feel like you're not interested and we'll just all move on. I mean, it was just a big waste of time. So at least be courteous enough to introduce yourself to your account executive once that happens. And if you're, I mean, some people are introverts, they don't like communicating, and I get it. But at least make contact with your AE so that we know that you're all set up and you're alive. So that, just please, I'm begging you to do that. Communication. All right, so what the next step is again, you're going to reach back out to your recruiter. You're going to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Recruiter, I want more information. Let's schedule a time to talk. I want to talk to you, let's get that worked out. Or if you're Constant Contact or LinkedIn or one of the other sources, you can go to the website listed below or the email below. We'll assign your recruiter based on the area that you're in. If you're in California, you're going to have Stella. If you're in Florida, you're going to have Danny. So it's all going to be based on wherever you want to do or wherever it is that you need to reach out at. So that's kind of how it goes. So that kind of sums it up. No, there's a million things probably you got to ask. So why don't we do a little Q&A thing here? I'll have Andre jump on here too. Andre, are you with us?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, great. So let's try to do a Q&A thing here. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. You're getting some questions already in the chat. So if you want to go ahead and just open up your chat window there.
Well, all right, man. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. I see it.
There you go. Yeah.
Man, I hate being like this. Okay, what states can you work in? You work in any one of the states that we're in. So if you're in, let's say you're in Florida and you have a file in California, you'll use the transition desk. It's $5.95. That's it. So that's all. We'll probably that you have to process in house. But yes, you can work in any of the states that we're in through the transition desk. All right, so I get the program here. My questions are about what sounds like mortgage brokers and mortgage brokers. So that part I don't get. Okay, so Ashley, I'm going to tell you, let's have you reach out to your recruiter, and this can be very daunting. It's a lot, especially Ashley if you're just a broker. I mean, trying to understand all this stuff can be very, very confusing. So again, let's reach out. No, it's not a stupid question. Trust me, it's not. Not at all. But what we do is I want you to get in touch with your recruiter for sure. So no, that's definitely not. All right. So I've only got 2 questions so far. Oh. Anybody else can think of anything? Okay, I have 27 states. How will that work? So CJ, what you'll do is you'll link into corporate, and then all your disclosures will have Melbourne, Florida on them, and you can do a loan in any one of those states. Well, unless you're into the 100-mile rule. If you're in Pennsylvania, that's a pain in the butt. That's some of these states, a couple of these states have the 100-mile rule. So, all right, I have a mortgage license, but no training or experience. Is there more training available? Yes, there is plenty more training available. Okay, yeah, the AE is going to walk you through that. We've had people come into this industry that didn't know what a 1003 was. And I kid you not. I mean, Jennifer Triocci, you can look her up under our NMLS and reach out to her. She'll tell you she didn't know anything. That girl does 5 to 10 loans a month. She's amazing. She did not know anything. I mean, not how to fill out a 1003. We are going to help you. And if your AE isn't helping you, you're going to reach out to me, and I'm going to make sure it does happen. So we're all about new people. We're fine with that. We're not looking for that 10-year guy, or we're looking for them too. Don't get me wrong, but we are all about beginners. We understand. I've been there. So, all right. What if all the aids do you have to help marketing? Okay, to help with marketing, again, we have Surefire, Liz. So Surefire is going to be phenomenal. That marketing in there is just going to. It'll integrate with MMI so that you can reach out to all the realtors in your area and blast out flyers, communications, things that you can do that brokers can't do or other lenders won't do. So that's, again, here we are talking about the upside. You're going to be able to do things that other people can't do. So when you're trying to get that realtor using MMI or the other program we have to find out what realtors we have in your area, then that'll, we'll see that. New York, yes, New York's on the plate. That's been going on now for about 8 months. No telling when. Ron, they keep coming back and back. So, but we're working on that. That's in the hopper. All right. Got any other questions here? So it seemed like pretty good. All right, here we go. See, when we're first starting, how do we pay for the lending pad and other systems out of pocket? Or do you offer free until you close loan? Liz, we can definitely work with you on that. reach out to your recruiter when you start talking, and we'll work that out. That's something we can work out. You can take out the whole year on your first deal, or you can run it monthly, however you decide you want to do that. All right? Anybody else? I know you got a ton of questions, and here's the thing. You're going to, remember, your recruiter is going to be there. So please try to reach out and let's get the recruiter thing going and everything like that. So, all right. What do you think, Andre?
I think you got one more in there.
Okay. Okay.
Got two more. Well, one more.
As Obsidian done reverse mortgages, of course. Tons of them, Ron. Head spinning, AAG. I don't know, man. You name it, we got it. So, and you can go on, you're going to go on the non-delegated. So nobody's going to see you 12 points. I know those things can make a lot of money on those. To help us set up for MERS and other processing. Yes. Yes. You'll, CJ, you'll be able to pull MERS numbers and everything. When you go in there and you enter the file, it'll ask you, you know, what channel you're going in. Obviously, if you go in the delegated channel, it's going to pull a MERS number for you. Very good. So you know what you've done the lender side for sure. If I'm getting a MERS question, you know what you're talking about. Anything else? Yes. Logins. You're gonna lending pad's integrated with MERS, fraud card, everything. So you're gonna do that. Okay. All right. Well.